AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No.
are.
The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
she's
AOC,
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that.
Is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Person Crockett is part of the new trend where informality is okay, where formality used to reign. Okay, fine. That's been going.
A podcaster talks or some shit. Fuck it. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, oh, man, dude, this shit is whack and fuck it. You slap me, I'm fucking over it. I mean, come on.
Jasmine Crockett was just set on fire by Bill Maher on national television. He didn't hesitate to make fun of her acting as though she were a TikTok influencer posing as a member of Congress. Maher didn't just talk spontaneously during his most recent sit-down, he bluntly criticized the current Democratic Party's overall approach.
Trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross, it's disgusting. So if we're gonna talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation, you're doing it in your messaging, you're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country even greater than they've ever been. So don't come over here with your attitude and talk to me about rights when you're trying to take my rights as a woman, a rape survivor, away. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
He explained in detail how choosing the loudest people above the brightest minds is causing the party to descend into chaos. This wasn't just a random tirade, though Maher also brought receipts. He dissected it with extreme clarity, highlighting how Crockett and AOC appear more interested in being viral than in taking decisive action. Maher made sure that no one missed the performance over policy.
We got there because I tried to make it clear how meaning civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not
call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I'm a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
females
old. I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
have.
I'm reclaiming my time.
You will not do that.
Order.
I am not a child.
I am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay,
in order.
order.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member? I mean, she wants to take it outside with.
hey, I have the First Amendment right too.
And
young
so
man. I have the
I'd like
First
those
Amendment
words to be
right. I'm
taken
not gonna be
down.
a child.
I
I'm
am
not
moving
gonna
to have
be
those
called a
words
child like
taken
any of
down.
you.
I believe it's against the rules to
Going
incite
outside doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You have a
member.
conversation that isn't.
The committee will
interrupting this
suspend.
committee.
The member will state the words he wishes taken down.
But wait, it gets even more juicy. Another visitor leaped in and shot Crockett in the face. Absence of political correctness and sugarcoating, as she saw it, she called it. Truth bombs flying from side to side, each phrase was a mic drop. No sidestepping or meandering, just straightforward criticism directed at Crockett's entire performance. And when Crockett eventually answers, she does just what everyone has been expecting. She avoids responsibility, raises her voice, and turns everything into a wild show. When someone reaches 40 and still believes that being loud equates to leadership, this is exactly how it appears. It's embarrassing rather than empowering. And this influencer-style politics could blow up in everyone's face if the Democrats don't change course quickly. It was now Don Lemon's turn to enter the ring following everything that had transpired.
AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
They're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No.
are.
The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
She's
AOC
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Because because people will vote for AOC and Donald Trump on the same ticket. Because they're authentic. No, because they're authentic.
I don't think that.
Okay.
That Don.
I think you're wrong about that.
What people like about people like Trump and
That's
Fetterman
phony.
is because it's
don't know
irrelevant to her life.
But you don't
really,
know her life.
I know that being a gorgeous woman who I wouldn't even know was Hispanic in a city that has 1 million Hispanics and it does not treat them badly.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. That doesn't mean that she was set down.
It implies it.
But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's just not true. And so
I don't know if she's behind the 8 ball, but I don't think she's as privileged as many people who are in Congress right now.
She's not privileged or not. She was a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, so I was a delivery boy.
But I'm saying sometimes, Bill, you don't agree with Donald Trump's policies.
No,
but that's what the people want.
Some of them.
Whether you like her or not, I don't like what she did with Amazon in New York. But I think AOC she's a Democratic icon.
Well, she's the wrong. If you think that's the direction the country the Democratic.
I'm not saying the policies that she espouses that's the direction, but I'm saying that you have to give the people who are out front speaking for the party, not the people who are.
If you think
she's evolving,
yeah, she's evolving,
and
as we all are,
and she is moving into
right.
She understands the game a little bit more, and if you notice, she is sort of becoming a sort of normal kind of Democrat in many ways.
Yes.
I think she's great. She's a very smart tactic. She's very smart.
Let's get behind that.
Welkie was smoked. Lemon didn't even have time to blink as Bill Maher delivered a verbal knockout blow to him. Let's be honest. Perhaps one of the most disjointed voices CNN has ever broadcast is Don Lemon. The man continues to hype up people who are obviously not suited for true leadership, while doubling down on clumsy takes. He seems to be living in a different reality where bad decisions are rewarded and facts are ignored.
We have right now is that if we continue down this road, then we will not have a rule of law, because we have people that are currently serving and they're saying things like, ignore the judge's order. What it means to have law and order in this country is that you follow the order and you go through the appeals process, even if you dislike what the judge did. Thank you. And I'm
going to note that when Miss Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC as we know her, filed articles of impeachment on Justice Thomas and Alito, Ms. Crockett was one of the co-sponsors along with Mr. Cohen, both members of this committee. It does seem interesting that when the shoe is on the other foot, everyone is self-righteous.
Wow.
And I think this is a good example. For the last 3 hours, I have had to listen to one side talking about as though it was the nature of this hearing.
When even Lemon refuses to acknowledge what is directly in front of him, you can tell the party is losing its hold. He continues to support the same worn-out looks and boisterous personalities while behaving as though we couldn't see the entire performance.
Is part of the new trend where informality is okay, where formality used to reign. Okay, fine. That's been going on since the 60s. So her routine is that she wants to bring a little bit of what I might quaintly call the ghetto cat fight into these spaces. I get it, bring a blaxploitation movie or something into Congress. Great, work it. But you do not make fun of the fact that somebody lives their life in a wheelchair. That doesn't work. If she thinks that being black and fabulous gives her a pass on that, then she's got a really unfortunate sense of what black is.
Well, what do you think, Ricky?
I mean, I think
And let's not act as though everyone in Jasmine Crockett's immediate vicinity is proud of this mess. They're simply too afraid to speak up. People are tired of the same broken record policies packaged in gaudy slogans, and the silence speaks for itself. For decades, the left has been playing this stale game, adding drama at the expense of substantive progress. Now pay particular attention to what transpired immediately following Maher Crockett was mentioned by Maher. This man was vicious in the manner he clapped back at Lemon. A blunt, unvarnished reality that struck hard and left no space for spin, no filters, no fluff. Crockett doubled down just when you thought things couldn't get much worse. She came out swinging rather than considering any of the comments. However, it was accompanied by drama deflection and shade rather than facts. She began using catchphrases, playing the victim and manipulating everything into an emotional performance, as if she were trying out for a reality show rather than speaking for actual people.
It's just an example of when they go low, we go lower, and the Democratic Party is going to lose if they try to use kind of MAGA world tactics back at them. I think that if the Democrats want to succeed in the future, they need to be the party that is normal, that are stand-up people, that do not take the cheap shots back.
I'm not that upset about it. I'm really not. You know why? Because I'm a big fan of Family Guy. And they have... Am I wrong? Every week. I mean, one of the characters, Joe the cop, is in a wheelchair, and every week there's 20 jokes about him being in a wheelchair, and nobody died. And like, I just think everybody has to, like, lighten up a little. Yeah, it's terrible to be in a wheelchair, but, you know, it's not like it's news to him. I don't know.
I
I'm a free speaker.
adore Family Guy. I've seen every episode, but that wasn't a cartoon. This is real life, and she was saying it with dismissive hostility, as opposed to the cartoonish, we can get away with it because we're drawn. Jasmine Crockett is not drawn, and neither is Abbott. I see a distinction, although I see what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most outrageous aspect was that she included AOC in the mess as well, acting as though they were a political influencer tag team. Both of them attempted to play the strong woman card, but ultimately came across as more social media stars seeking influence than public employees carrying out their duties. Every time they talk, it seems like their goal is to get viral rather than to address any issues. People are struggling out here in the meantime, and this is the energy that so-called leaders are giving us. Speeches that don't offer any answers, a mindset devoid of solutions, fury without any outcomes. At this point, it's really embarrassing, and Maher was the only one who said that. Now more people are speaking up. Even members of the party and old allies of journalists are subtly whispering the same thing. This is it, it's getting very obvious. The longer the focus remains on individuals like Crockett and AOC, the more the party veers away from what is truly important. If this doesn't change soon, they won't just lose the next election, they will lose the public for life.
Quote I thought was apropos of what's going on the left. And by the way, if you watch the speech, I saw mostly the clips of it, and mostly it was people in the audience, the guy with the cane, people with, like, paddles. Oh, there's the cane dude. And then there's, okay, we're here's our pussy hat uniform. And these, looks like you're at an auction signs. I mean, it was, John Fetterman called it a sad cavalcade of self-owns and unhinged petulance. I love him. I thought he should have won last week. The Democrats seem so lost. And here's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party. Her quote is, "This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it." On with what would be my first question. And also, this is the way a leader, this is like how a podcaster talks or some shit. Fuck it, man. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, man, dude, this shit is whack, and fuck it, just slap me, I'm fucking over it.
This is where things start to go south. As more videos of Crockett's breakdowns surfaced on social media, many were cringing rather than applauding. Comment sections were flooded with individuals on both sides of the issue. Who is actually representing us now that really tells it all? People who have been Democrats their entire lives are watching this circus and feeling totally alienated. Now, voters who genuinely cared about justice policy and advancement are left to watch TikTok-style outbursts unfold on national stages. When critics pointed out, they are immediately branded as bigots or worse. It's as if the entire affair became a live stream stunt rather than a genuine political discussion. Holding someone accountable now equates to being anti-woman, anti-progress, or involved in a conspiracy. People are sick of complying with this emotional manipulation game at this point. The fear is so strong that even insiders are perspiring behind closed doors. They know this picture isn't helping, and they know that these viral moments are driving the center farther away and inflaming the opposition. But nobody wants to be the one to say it publicly. To be clear, they are doing all of this to attract Gen Z voters, but the truth is that Gen Z isn't buying it. They don't connect with politicians who treat serious issues like viral trends. As a result, while the loudest voices are out there chasing views and claps, the real problems, the economy, crime, and education, are being buried. If this continues, there won't be anything left to fight for because, let's face it, once the crowd stops clapping, all that's left is the mess they made on stage. A whole generation that was raised to recognize BS with a scroll cannot be duped. They are able to see through it. What they fail to recognize is common sense, and for that reason alone, those votes are falling between the cracks. Let's now discuss Bill Maher. In an attempt to avoid upsetting the Democratic base, he is treading carefully. He is obviously wearing two hats, one for the truth and one for the safety of the public. One moment he is screaming facts and the next he is softening the blow. However, despite that delicate balancing act, Bill didn't protest when others spoke up and exposed the truth because he understood there was nothing left to protect. If you haven't seen those clips yet, although my hair may not express it directly, the feeling the Democratic Party as we know it is on the verge of collapse. In addition, I have sympathy for the women who wear pink post-empowerment phrases but remain vocal when it counts most. It is tragic that silence speaks louder than words, yet let's continue. Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Make sure to hit the like button if you're rocking with the truth. Click subscribe and I'll see you in the ladder.